In an economic context marked by uncertainty, the upcoming elections in the United States emerge as a crucial factor for the country's economic future. On one hand, the Republican Party is nominating Donald Trump, while Kamala Harris represents the Democratic Party. One of the most relevant aspects of this electoral process is the economic program that will be implemented after the elections. In this video, we will compare the economic proposals of both parties, analyzing their real differences and exploring the potential economic repercussions, both in the United States and globally. The United States is approaching the 2024 presidential elections, facing a challenging economic landscape. Inflation, although it has begun to moderate, continues to worry consumers and the Federal Reserve, which has maintained a policy of high interest rates to control rising prices. Economic growth has been uneven, with sectors like technology showing strength, while others, such as real estate and manufacturing, face uncertainty. Geopolitical tensions, especially with China, continue to affect international trade, and investments in infrastructure and renewable energy remain key areas of interest. In the political realm, discussions about the economy dominate the campaigns, with debates over taxes, public spending, and the future of social programs. Socially, concerns about the cost of living and access to housing exacerbate polarization, as communities seek solutions to ensure more equitable prosperity. The Democratic Party's economic program for 2024 includes the following key measures. Increase in the federal minimum wage. Raise the minimum wage to at least $15 per hour by 2026. Additionally, policies will be sought to ensure paid leave, among other things. Support for the PRO Act, protecting the right to organize, back the right of workers to organize and bargain collectively to improve wages, benefits, and working conditions. Financial support for small businesses. Increase spending aimed at creating and expanding grants and loans for small businesses, with a special focus on businesses led by women and minorities. Progressive tax reform. Ensure that billionaires pay at least 25% in taxes on their income, equating the taxation of investment income and wages. Eliminate tax shelters associated with life insurance and retirement savings schemes used by millionaires to avoid taxes. Raise taxes on stock buybacks. Increase the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. Double the tax rate on foreign profits of multinational corporations to 21%. Eliminate tax subsidies for oil and gas companies. Raise taxes or eliminate tax exemptions for corporate jets and airplanes, and eliminate tax deductions on salaries exceeding $1 million. The Republican Party's economic program for 2024 includes the following key measures. Liberalization of energy restrictions. Eliminate restrictions on energy production, including nuclear energy, oil, and natural gas, to reduce prices, control inflation, and strengthen the energy independence of the United States. Reduction of regulations. Ease regulations that hinder job creation, limit freedom, and increase the cost of innovation. This includes deregulating emerging technologies such as cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, and space exploration, with the aim of promoting economic development at a lower cost. Tax reforms. Eliminate taxes on tips and make permanent the temporary tax reductions that Republicans approved during their last legislative session. Tax incentives for housing. Provide tax incentives to facilitate home ownership and promote real estate ownership among citizens. Protectionist trade policies. Implement and increase tariffs on foreign products, especially in the Chinese automotive industry, and encourage policies that prioritize domestic production and hiring to protect the U.S. economy. The economic approach of the Democrats and Republicans for 2024 reveals deep differences in fiscal and growth policies. The economic programs of the Democrats and Republicans for 2024 show contrasting approaches in key areas. On taxes, the Democrats propose a progressive tax reform that increases taxes on billionaires, large corporations, and stock buybacks, seeking greater tax equity. In contrast, the Republicans advocate for tax cuts, including the elimination of taxes on tips and the permanence of tax reductions, to stimulate disposable income. In public spending, the Democrats favor an increase in spending on areas such as infrastructure, clean energy, and support for small businesses, with an emphasis on including marginalized groups. The Republicans focus on energy liberalization and deregulating emerging sectors, prioritizing more controlled spending aimed at facilitating economic development through tax incentives. In terms of employment, the Democrats promote the protection of labor rights through the PRO Act, while the Republicans seek to reduce regulations to encourage innovation and job creation. For economic growth, the Democrats bet on public investments in strategic sectors and a higher minimum wage, while the Republicans emphasize energy independence and domestic production, accompanied by protectionist policies. Overall, Democratic policies are directed toward the middle and working class, seeking greater equality and sustainability, while Republican policies are oriented toward entrepreneurs, industrial workers, and those who prioritize lower taxes and a less interventionist government. The economic proposals of the Democrats, such as increasing the minimum wage and high public spending on infrastructure and subsidies, could have an inflationary effect in the short term by increasing aggregate demand and labor costs. However, these policies could also stabilize in the long term if public investments lead to sustained economic growth and increased productivity. On the other hand, Republican policies such as tax cuts and deregulation could help reduce inflation by stimulating supply and lowering costs for businesses, facilitating productive expansion. However, if tax cuts and incentives lead to a significant increase in private spending without a corresponding growth in supply, it could rekindle inflationary pressures, especially in sectors where supply is limited. The economic proposals of the Democrats, such as increasing the minimum wage and supporting unionization, could improve the incomes and working conditions of many workers. This could boost domestic consumption, creating more jobs in the service and construction sectors through public spending on infrastructure. However, these measures could also lead some employers to cut jobs or automate processes to offset higher labor costs. In contrast, Republican policies focused on deregulation and tax cuts could incentivize rapid job creation by facilitating business expansion and attracting investments. In general, the economic policies of the Democrats are directed toward the middle and working class, seeking to promote greater equality through measures such as increasing the minimum wage and implementing progressive tax reform. These proposals aim to redistribute wealth by increasing taxes on large corporations and billionaires to finance public investments, such as infrastructure and support for small businesses. In contrast, Republican policies are oriented toward entrepreneurs, workers in industrial sectors, and those who prioritize an economic environment with lower taxes and less government intervention. By reducing the tax burden and deregulating key sectors, they seek to stimulate private investment and job creation, favoring faster economic growth based on entrepreneurship, with a less redistributive focus. In your opinion, what are the most important economic measures for you? And especially in this 2024 election? Do you think the parties will be able to fulfill their economic promises if they come to power? If you want to review the original sources of the economic proposals, check the description, where you will find the link to each program. If you enjoyed the analysis and want more economic content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, and give the video a thumbs up.